7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? So on today's video, what we're going to be focusing on is the really popular curtain fringe that you've probably been seeing all over social media and different people's pictures. So this is supposed to be a very popular trend for 2018. I could see that actually happening because it's not a big transformation for people, but it's a nice, soft, and cool change that you can give your guests. So a couple things that we're really going to focus on in this video is how to break up the fringe so it's not so blunt feeling. And also the cool thing about these bangs is that it gets a little bit longer off to the side, which is where I believe that they're getting that name, curtain fringe. So it kind of opens up across the face, lays nice along the cheekbone area. So really cool haircut. If you have questions, post them in the comments below, but let's get started. All right, guys, so the first thing that I'm going to do is brush out the hair using my Ergo diamond brush. This is a new brush that I've gotten. The thing I love about this brush is that I'm always a paddle brush fan, but sometimes the paddle brush is just too big. So this is just a miniature version of a paddle brush. So I brush the hair back, I find the center parting, and then I go in and I look for that curve of the head right on the forehead area, which is usually about 2 inches from the hairline. I find the balance in the comb, and then that's where I draw that triangle to section off the fringe. A lot of people have difficulties figuring out where to section the fringe. I find balancing my comb right there really gives me an opportunity to find out where that hair is going to fall forward and where it's going to fall off to the side. So I braid that all away, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush the hair back and put it into a ponytail just because I'm not going to cut the rest of the hair in this video, so I wanted to section it away. Now, I would always do that triangle section no matter what haircut I'm doing, but obviously I wouldn't put the hair in a ponytail every single time. So now I'm going to go through, I'm using that diamond head brush. This is the benefit of the brush because it's smaller. You can get a little bit of lift. So I'm going to go through, lift the hair up. Now, the key thing with the fringe is to make sure it's got a nice natural fall to it instead of going in and using a lot of tight tension. So I wouldn't want to go in and blow it dry with my comb or anything that's going to have a lot of tension to it, or like a Denman brush. But I go through, and the diamond brush gives me a nice light, medium tension, let's call it. But I can also leaf it and lift it up to give it that volume. Then I go through with my Vibra Straight iron. I go diagonal one way, then diagonal back the other way, and that gives me the shape of the forehead and a nice smooth feel to that fringe area. So now the scissor choice that I'm going to make is the Mizutani Puffin scissor. It's a 5.5-inch scissor that I'm choosing. And the reason I chose this is because obviously we're doing dry cutting. It's a dry cutting scissor. I love the feel of the blade on dry hair. It's got a nice smooth feel to it. But also, you should always have a dry cutting scissor that kind of separates from your precision scissor, because cutting hair dry with your precision scissor can dull it faster. So I use this scissor. It's got a lot of power. It's got a really thick blade, a nice sharp point to it. And I go through and I use a tease cutting technique. So I'm pinching everything right in front of the nose, and I go through and half close that scissor and slide it back and forth until I cut through that whole section. Now what I'm going to do is over direct it even more over the edge of the eye. So the opposite eye on the opposite side of the head, because that's going to give me an extreme kind of push of that weight. Now the curtain fringe, you're going to notice a disconnection, but the curtain fringe is much longer towards the side and off that edge of the eye. So I like to do that disconnection first, then I'll show you guys the technique that I go through to connect those two edges together. So extreme over direction, and then I go through. You can see how it pops off there. I go through, I smooth it out again with my iron, because a lot of times when you smooth something that's longer, it gets a different type of bend. So I just bend it with the curve of the head. And then I go through and I do some point cutting to connect those 2 points together. So I keep my comb at a diagonal, and I go through with that puffin scissor and point cut to connect those 2 points together. So I just keep lifting it up. Now, also notice how much I'm lifting it off the head. A lot of people do that super low. The higher you lift it, the more feathered look you're going to get with the fringe. So now I go through, I'm going to do some leafing. I'm going to blow dry the rest of the hair because I want you to see the finished look all together. But I also have one more technique that we're going to throw in to create this curtain fringe. So bangs are a little more complicated than people than people think they are. So now I'm going in with my Type Z dual texture scissor, and I'm just going to glide through the tips of that fringe and just soften it even more. So sometimes that tease cutting technique doesn't make it quite as soft as I wanted it to. I pushed that weight over, I connected the 2 dots, and now I go through with the Type Z dual texture, and there's our end result. Hope you like it, guys. All right, guys, like always, if you liked this cut, then make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, share this video with all of your friends, and make sure you go to freesaloneducation.com, check out more videos, and purchase any of the tools that you saw on this video. Also, one thing I would love to hear from you is, what do you want to see on an upcoming video? Any techniques, any different looks, different things we can create on the videos coming up. So get involved, guys. Post in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you soon.